Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today.
Professor Presbury back with another episode of Hey Professor, the show talking about everything you wanted to know. I got a fresh cut, dog. You know what that means? Bingo. No, I'm playing. Obviously, like I said, I did get a fresh cut, so I'm gonna do a couple of videos for you guys. I have to do a couple of videos anyway. This is gonna be more of a vlog episode where I talk about things that I thought I was gonna do as a director or as a leader that I'm not gonna do. And there's a reason for that. There's a story behind that, so I'll give it to you. Right? Here's the story. Back in, say 2014, when I was a medical coder, I worked under a director in the inpatient care facility. One of the things that I always believed, and again, I guess me being naive, I guess I was young and naive, I believe that people lead by example, and they always kind of, I guess, do what I thought was the right thing at the time, which was to always kind of be there and kind of, put the face forward as the face of the department. Well, the funny thing is, at that time, there was a blizzard. It's like 2014, right? And so there's a blizzard, and we're coders, so everyone's talking about whether or not we're going to have to be at work. Like, oh, do we have to come in the next day? Because this wasn't remote back in the day. Like now, everything's remote. It wasn't remote at the time. So a lot of people were talking like, do we have to come in? Do you know we have to come in? I don't want to come in. What about you? Do you want to come in? So I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, the director, nice woman, she's going to come in and she's going to kind of lead by example because we have to come in, so she has to come in, right? So she sends us an email, you guys are essential. You have to come in the next day. You have to be present. You have to be here. And I'm thinking, okay, she's going to be here. Next thing you know, it's going to be like, whatever. The next day, I get an email that she's not in. I'm thinking to myself like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, she's not here? Like, you're the director, you're not here, why are you not here? And I said to myself, like, you know what? I'm gonna climb the ranks, I'm gonna climb the ladder. If I ever become director, if I ever become leadership, I'm gonna lead by example. I'm not gonna be that person that sets himself apart and just sits in his ivory tower in his office with his air conditioner and his fan and his latte and his chai tea, and I'm just like, whatever, I'm so separated from everybody, so separated from it. Now, let me tell you, at the time, that's what I thought. That's what I said. Yeah, no, I'm kind of more like that than I wanted to be initially when I was younger. When I first got my HIM manager job, right, when I was working in New York, I did kind of go and, like I said, I would assign my staff to do certain things like lift like a bunch of boxes or something like that, and I would go and do it with them, right? Or I would literally make sure I come in every day and I say good morning to everybody, like literally every single employee that I had, all 22 of them. I would go around and make sure I say good morning to them all. That's something that I thought a manager or a director should do. Now I'm gonna tell you, it's been a couple years, since like 5 years, I'm not doing that no more, right? And it's not, God, I don't want to sound like that, right? It's not that it's something snooty. It's just like, I don't have to. You know what I mean? I'm beyond it, and I did my time, I did my work, so I could get beyond it. And that's what happened. That's what I did. I don't need to go around carrying a bunch of boxes. I got people for that. You know what I mean? That came off like a total snob. I totally get that. Now that I think about it in my head, I'm like, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, that didn't sound good, but it's not like that. What I mean is, my focus is better spent on other things. Like, my time shouldn't be spent picking up boxes. I have to look at data, metrics, process improvement, performance plans, those types of things. So I'm not that guy that's going to be picking up boxes or really going out my way maybe to say good morning to everybody. I'll send a good morning email. I can do that. That's fine. While I'll be the first one to say that perception does matter between you and your staff as far as your overall relationship, in the long term, at least I'll say this, right? My experience is getting down on the ground level and doing those things isn't going to be something that's appreciated in the long term. It's not going to sway people left, right, or center about whether you're a good leader or not. So don't spend a lot of your time doing that, because at the end of the day, you have things you need to do anyway, and it's not that. There'll be times where, leadership skips out and leaves. And when I was, in a working capacity, I'm working, but when I was a non-leadership individual, I would say, you know what, I'm never going to do that. I'm going to stay until 5. I'm going to stay until 5:30. Matter of fact, I'm going to stay until 3. I'm not staying until 5:30. I might leave at 2:50. And I think you gotta understand is that's really okay, because you're putting in a lot more, or a lot more is expected of you as leadership. So you have to decide what your style is and what you're going to be doing or not doing. So to recap, things I thought I was going to be doing: staying later. Things I thought I was going to be doing: coming in when it snows. Things I thought I was going to be doing: lifting boxes. And again, it's not to say I haven't done all these things. It's to say that I'm not doing them anymore, because I don't think that it pays off. I don't think that it really matters in the long run. Focus on what your actual job title is as a director. Now, realizing I kind of sound like a little bit of an ass, I want to say it's not that you're going to completely disregard how people feel. No, I did a whole video on showing appreciation for your staff. Do that. That's good. That's important. Lifting boxes, not so much. You know what I mean? Your people are not going to usually be able to see the bigger picture of what you're working on. So you focus on the bigger picture, and then you make sure that as you can, you treat them to things, and you make sure that they feel appreciated. That's what's important. All right, guys, this is Professor Presbury doing the vlog and other videos today. You guys have a good one. Bye. This is Professor Presbury back, making an addendum to that video earlier, that vlog I did. I really was thinking about some things having watched it back, and I want to kind of make a point I'm going to add on to the end. So having watched the video, right, I feel like I came across as a little bit hoity-toity, a little bit better than, a little bit, I don't have to do this because I'm this, and that's not how I am. I think the point I was trying to make, and the point that I may not have communicated very clearly, is that when I was young, I think maybe I was arrogant then. You know what I mean? Not that I'm arrogant now, but I was arrogant then, in that I didn't really know what leadership was going through. I didn't really know what management, what the directors were going through. And so I kind of had it in my mind that when I got there, I would be better, whatever it was they were doing. I really didn't know at that stage. I was a clerk, I was a coder, and so my day-to-day was completely different, completely detached from what they do, with no real understanding. And yet I put myself in a position when I was younger to be like, you're not doing enough, or when I get there, I'm going to do it differently, I'm going to do it better. When the real takeaway is, now that I've done it, now that I've been on both sides, I really understand, as management, as leadership, what they were probably dealing with some of the pressures they were probably dealing with some of the day-to-days, with some of the things that they have to do, in their day, and what's expected of them that I didn't know back then. And so the overall message is not one of being better than, it's one of, humbling yourself and realizing that you don't know everything. You don't know what's on the other side of the fence. You don't know what someone's going through until you live it, And so having done both, I can really say now that the expectations, on the other side of that fence as management are different. And you really want to, just be kind and kind of take it in. Because as a clerk, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they're dealing with. So don't judge, because when you get there, you may find yourself doing the same thing as them, and you may understand why. I understand now why, when I was younger, my leadership didn't, find the need to do certain things, and much in the same way, I'm not doing those things either. So it's like I've humbled myself through my experience, through seeing it from both sides. And that was really the point of the message, was that you never know. So just kind of, calm down and, I guess, know what you don't know. Realize that not everything is clear cut as it seems to be. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.
Intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character. That is the true goal of education.